For more content like this, log on to GibboPresents.com.
It's Gibbo, and right now I'm once again joined by reggae dancehall hip hop artist and CEO of Adonai Music. It is Million Stylez. How are you?
Blessed love, Gibbo. Yeah, man. Nice, man. Give thanks for life. I'm great, you know? Life are the greatest thing.
Let me kick things off by asking you about your recently released album, Revelation Time. It's a pretty impactful title. Did you feel you had a lot to get off your chest and reveal?
Yeah, most definitely, you know. And I know you as a man were really studied in music, so I think it's kind of evident when you listen to the music, it's like very emotional, you know. So, and it took a couple of years. It took like 4 or 5 years, you know, to complete the album. So I really took my time, you know, to really put my emotions into my music and with the recordings and the mixing and mastering and everything. So, you know what I mean? So that's why I think it came out really good, you know, according to me and a lot of people, you know, to give thanks.
So what was the total amount of tracks that you recorded for the album?
The thing is, when I do albums, it's not, you know, I just record songs and I just pick out the best of them, you know, or the ones that would connect and could put, you know, could be an album, you know, when you put them together, you know. So this time it's 12 songs that I really feel like, you know, they have a connection from the beginning to the end, you know. It was all about the order. So, you know what I mean? So 12 tracks from the beginning to the end. So it's like a story I'm trying to tell, you know. So going is like a roller coaster all through the album, you know. Emotional roller coaster. That's it, man.
What's your main motivation today when it comes to writing and recording music? Is it simply love for music? Is it to spread wisdom and truth, or is it something else?
Spread wisdom and truth, you know, reality, and spread love, you know, and vibes, you know. And when I listen to reggae music, there's no other music that can give me that kind of vibe, you know. And self-value, you see what I'm saying? And it's just the most, you know what I mean? Just to educate people and to make people feel good and everything at the same time, you know? So that's the wonderful thing. That's one thing that is so wonderful with reggae music, you know? That's how we do it.
The album has been released through Undisputed Records, a French-based label. How far does the relationship with you and Einity go back?
Just from recent times, you know, we haven't really met proper yet, you know. But the thing is, this is more like a license, you know, for distribution. Sorry, for the CDs and the vinyl. The vinyl is coming up very soon, you know, and I have another deal with Fine Tunes, you know, and for the digital side, you know, iTunes and Spotify. But that is just Adonai Music, my label, you know. So it's like a collaboration with Undisputed. You see what I'm saying? For the physical side.
Was it important for you to release the album on CD and vinyl too, instead of just going down the digital route as many artists do these days?
Well, you know, from the first album and from the first releases, you know, we always released everything on CD and vinyl, you know, so I'm still from that time, you know, and some people do appreciate, you know, to have a CD in their hand or something physical, you know, and vinyl, you know, vinyl sales, you know, they go up as well nowadays, you know, and so it's just good to have different varieties for people, you know.
Track 11 on the album, Equal Rights and Justice, features Bounty Killer. Is he one of the artists who is responsible for your love of dancehall and reggae? How influential has he been on you?
Oh, most definitely. Like for a lot of people, you know, and artists and producers, you know. I mean, he's the general, you know, general of dancehall music, definitely. And he's one of the most consistent, you know, artists out there, you know. So from the time I started listening to dancehall, you know, till now. So And when it comes to dancehall, if you heard of a couple of names, Bounty Killer is one of them, you know, most definitely, you know, because he's been collaborating with all these hip hop rappers, you know, from America from a long time. So people know, like hip hop heads from that time, they know about Bounty Killer, you know, for years. And I mean, no doubt, he's been doing, you know, songs with pop artists. So it's just like on another level, you know what I mean? He's been in the game so long and putting out great songs and anthems consistently, you know. So that's how you make your name stay there, and that's what he did.
Can you name a few of the other artists?
You know, he's busting so many artists and so many singers and DJs as well. So that will definitely keep him in that spot for longer, definitely.
Can you name a few of the artists other than Bouncy Killer who you listened to a lot when you first fell in love with reggae and dancehall? And also, can you list some of the artists who you listen to the most today from any genre?
Well, back then it was, you know, growing up in Stockholm, Sweden, I was listening to whatever my friends was listening to, you know, what my parents were listening to. So of course it was Bob Marley, you know what I mean, Burning Spear, who else? Alpha Blondie, Don Carlos, you know, those were the ones who got me intrigued by by reggae music and wanted to, you know, even do my own reggae music and even start recording myself, you know. But then after that, after that was Bounty Killer, of course, Beanie Man and Sean Paul and Mr. Vegas and War 21 and Lexus and all of them, you know what I mean, at the same time. You know, I became a fan of all of these great artists at the same time, and it was like so much new, you know, music for me to find, you know, and to discover. Yeah.
Have you shot a video for Conquering Lion?
Yeah, man, you know what's going on, you know. So yeah, I've shot it, but right now the director, he had to go to Africa to Botswana for a little while, you know. So we're editing, you know, the video together. So right now it's still under construction. It's actually still in the editing studio, you know, just ready to get finalized. So yeah, man, very soon, in the beginning of January, you know, by the, you know, middle of January, I think it will be out, you know, but I'll keep you all posted, you know. Yeah, man.
Was that filmed in Sweden or elsewhere?
In Sweden, Stockholm, Sweden. Yeah.
Speaking of Stockholm, not too long ago you shared a video on your Facebook page of Major Lazer playing a dub plate from yourself at their show in Stockholm. Did they link you when they arrived in town to voice this, or is this something they've had in their box for a while?
No, it was like I think a couple of weeks, like 2 weeks before they came. Because I'm always in contact with Walsh, you know, normally, you know, and he always links me, like from before they even bust, you know, when they are still on the rise. Walsh linked me, man, and he's always like, yo, pass through, you know, we're doing a show there. But this last time it was like a, you know what I mean, Michael Jackson or a rock concert. It was just like a full house, you know, one of the biggest venues in Stockholm. And yeah, man, it was crazy, energetic, you know. And yeah, I don't know. Yeah, exactly. So I was there. I wasn't expecting them to play it. So I was just ready still. You know? I was like, but I felt it like, yeah, I think they're going to play it, because it was like they had like a dancehall segment, you know, between a couple of songs. So I just fling up my camera and say, yo, yeah, man, record this. Yeah.
Speaking of live shows, you just recently wrapped up a European tour with Gappy Ranks and the Dub Acon Band. Am I right that at one show you and Gappy performed each other's songs?
No, man, it was that was like because they swapped our faces, you know.
Oh,
and on
right.
the Gappy Ranks it said Million Styles, and under my face it said Gappy Ranks. You see? So it was just like a joke, like, you know, when I posted it to promote the show, you know. So it looks like Gappy's doing my songs and vice versa, you see me? But yeah, man, that wasn't the case, you know, but we always, you know, most of the times we end the show with like a freestyle, you know, we just play in the rhythm and just, you know, go mad with it, you know? Yeah, man.
As well as you and Gappy, as I mentioned, the Dub Acom bands were part of the tour. Some artists these days are refusing to tour or perform without a live band. What are your thoughts on this issue?
Well, it's like two different worlds, you know, sound system shows and like, you know what I mean? It's like, and the crowds are different as well. And that's one thing I really noticed this last tour, you know, with Gappy Ranks and Dub Acom. And so it's two totally different worlds. And for me personally, I rather perform with band, but I love to do sound system shows. And some venues, you know, they don't even have the capacity to keep a band, you know what I mean, in the venue on the stage. So it could be very important venues to do, you know. So if a sound system show is the only way to go, I will do it, you know, to spread my message, you know, and to spread my music, you know what I mean, and keep the thing alive. But preferably, you know what I mean, with a live band, definitely. And I think most people, you know, I mean, reggae artists, I mean, should feel the same way. They should, you know what I mean? Yeah.
How do you feel after a tour? Does the lack of sleep and the traveling catch up with you, or does the love from the people leave you feeling energized?
That's the balance right there, because, you know, you get tired from touring, and the hardest part of the job is the traveling. Yeah, you know what I mean? Because sometimes we just perform 30 minutes or 1 hour, 1.5 hours, but we travel like 20 hours, you know? You know what I mean? Waiting and, you know, in transfer and you know what I mean, in buses and vans and you know what I mean? Different flights. So that's the hardest part of the job. But then again, when you're on stage, you lose, you know, you get rid of a lot of energy, but you gain it at the same time, you know, from the crowd. It's just like the energy just bounce back and forth, you know what I mean? So when I get an energetic crowd, I leave the stage with more energy and more vibes. And sometimes I cannot even fall asleep, you know? I can't even go to sleep because I have too much vibes. You see what I'm saying? I just need to calm down and that's, you know what I mean? That's just from the vibes, you know? From the show and the people. So and when it's a dead crowd, I have no problem. I can just, you see what I'm saying? But when the vibes are there, yeah, man, I'm like a sponge to that. Yeah.
This tour saw you pass through Switzerland, Poland, Spain, France, Austria and Germany, but no Sweden. And last time we spoke, I remember you bringing up the lack of Swedish shows for you too. Have you ever considered relocating to another country to take your career to a higher level perhaps, or is this not necessary if you're willing to travel in this internet age?
Well, it's not really necessary because I'm always doing shows, you know. And when I'm not doing shows, it's because I choose not to, you know. So, and the thing is, I wouldn't really move anywhere to get more shows or to boost up my career. You see what I'm saying? It's like, I'm not one of those artists, you know. It might be good, and some people would tell me to do things, and I'm not really one of those artists, you know what I mean? Because, you know, I'm good right now, and I've been good for a while. So I give thanks, you know, and for me, it's like everything is growing, but in my pace, you know, I like it in this slow pace because makes the, you know, the roots grow stronger and more firm, you know, and so it lasts longer as well. That's how I see it, you know, and just focus on taking time with the music and make sure it's music with a lot of soul and quality, you know, down to the lyrics, to the mixing, to the production and everything, you know, and then with the layout, and you see what I'm saying? So and just make it proper, you know, no fast food music. So yeah, man.
Recently, the nominees for the Best Reggae Album Grammy for 2016 were announced. I don't know if you've heard them. They were Jack Ure, Barrington Levy, Luciano, Morgan Heritage, and Ghanaian artist Rocky Dawuni. People love to criticize the Grammys and say the wrong albums and artists are getting nominated. So let me ask you, not just with specific reference to this year, but generally, do you think the right artists get nominated?
I don't even know, like, all these albums. I'm not really, so really, I mean, up to date like that. You know what I mean? All of these artists that you mentioned, you know what I mean? They're great, and I love their music. You see what I'm saying? Personally, I don't care if I'm there or not. You know what I mean? Because those who are listening to my music, they are the ones who are supposed to listen to my music. And those who are not, they're not supposed to listen to my music. And I won't do anything that I don't want to do to make other people listen to my music, And so you understand, like me with these awards and things, they don't really matter to me so much. You know what I mean? I just give thanks that I can do my music and have a couple of people listening to it. And I love that the crowd is growing, Yeah, man, the listeners and the supporters. Yeah, man, give thanks. Big up all owner. Yeah.
Do you think a lot of artists feel the same way as you? Do you think a Grammy Awards doesn't have the same status or importance perhaps in dancehall and reggae that it does in other genres?
Yeah, maybe, I don't really know. I know that all these awards and nominations and all these things are really important, to a lot of artists in general. But for some, I guess, it's not as important, Like, for me, I think, from my personal experience with that, living here in Stockholm, Sweden, is what I'm saying, and growing as an artist. And I'm not really nominated for anything in Sweden. You see what I'm saying? But I'm out of all the artists in Sweden, like through history, I'm the one who traveled the most and done shows in the most countries. You see what I'm saying? Every continent, independently. But nobody's talking about me around here, and I'm not getting nominated for anything as well. But that's not the point. You see what I'm saying? So in the beginning, I was kind of bummed out and say, "Yo, why I never get nominated or whatever." And I was like, you know what? Just stop thinking about it. Just do music, do your shows. You get you know what I mean? You get bookings. Do your shows, do your music, and spread the message. You know what I mean? And as long as you're living, you're good. Everybody good. You got health. Keep on doing what you're doing, and forget about that.
Revelation Time, the new album from Million Styles, is out right now, courtesy of Undisputed Records. 12 tracks in total, featuring collaborations with Peter Morgan, Mr. Williams, Bounty Killer, and Luton Fire. Go purchase it if you haven't already, and support good reggae music. Millie, before I let you go, is there anything else that needs mentioning or that you'd like to bring up?
Well, I just love, to one and all. I done it's all about togetherness. You know what I mean? Because all these love is more important than all these things, Career, music, artist, producer, showbiz. You see what I'm saying? So I just one love straight from the heart. Love. Seeing? Million Stars said that. Big up yourself, Gibbo. You know what I mean? Yeah, man.
Gibbo presents